What's up, guys? Adam here from Backyard Gardening and Cooking, and in this video we'll be doing a live gardening journal where we're keep you guys up to date with the progress of how my garden is growing each week. So right here I'm just picking some weeds, and I want to emphasize how important garden maintenance is, because you don't want your weeds competing with your vegetables. So you need to make sure you pick all these weeds. I know it's obvious. So I'm going to show you guys around my garden today and show you what I'm doing to keep it healthy and growing. So the first thing I want to show you guys today in this gardening journal video is how well my broccoli and my lettuce is doing since I planted it 3 days ago. Today is October 20th, so I planted it October 17th, and already they've almost doubled in size. They look a lot healthier today than they did the day I planted them. And the main tip I can give you on growing successful transplants is to use high quality compost. So I just started doing my own compost, so I didn't have enough for this planting session, but what I did was I went to my local nursery and I bought some fresh, high quality organic compost. You want to make sure that your compost is made with high quality vegetable scraps and other organic sources. You don't want to go to those big box stores, because a lot of times their compost will be made with wood products and you're not getting the nutrients you would with like vegetable scraps. So like I said, these have almost doubled in size in just 3 days. They're really taking off in this nutrient-rich compost. The main thing to take from this is compost really works really well. So the next update I want to show you guys on this garden journal is how this bed right here is doing. So 7 days ago, I transplanted my lettuce and sowed some carrot seeds. There's also some onion bulbs in here, but they haven't sprouted yet. But the carrots finally sprouted. So it's been exactly 7 days. So carrot seeds take around 7 days, depending on the temperature and time of year. So right now it's the fall. So I'm in Houston, Texas. So it's a little warmer than, it's a lot warmer than most places. So they sprouted a lot faster than they would in the spring. Probably be close to 2 weeks in the spring with the cooler weather, but considering it's warmer, they sprouted within 7 days. So if you're wondering how fast and how long it takes for carrots to sprout, it's between 7 to 14 days. If you're on the warmer end, it's more like 7 days. So finally, I've been checking every day and they finally sprouted. So the next thing I want to show you guys and give you an update on is my green stock vertical garden tower. So I find this little tower really handy to grow a lot of vegetables in one small space. I'll have a link in the description where you guys can pick one up. It's an affiliate link, so if you guys like this video and you want to pick one of these up, use the code BackyardGardener and click on the link to save $10. So again, it's BackyardGardener, just one word. I planted my fall vegetables in this tower on October 11th. Mostly everything is growing pretty well, except for a couple things like this bok choy right here. Looks like there's some, I don't know if it's a slug damage or something's eating it. Well, I have something I'm going to try, so subscribe if you guys want to see if it works or not. But if it works, I'm going to make a video about it. But most of the herbs and everything, and some of the lettuce I'm growing in here is growing pretty well. So you might be wondering, how am I remembering all these dates? Well, I'm not. I'm writing them down in the journal. So I'm just using a journal app on the iTunes store or the App Store called, I think it's called One Day. And simply just each day I'm coming out here and I'm observing my garden. So it's really important to keep track of all the dates. Like for instance, this is the first time I'm noticing pest damage. So I want to write down in the journal that on today, October 20th, I noticed that there's some pest damage. So I know that that's when the first pests come out. So I need to do some research and see what kind of pests and what I can do to prevent this pest next year and later this year as well. But the main thing is you want to keep track of what you're doing, when you planted things, when you sowed seeds, when you saw pest damage. That way you can prepare for the future. Alright guys, so the next gardening tip I want to give you in this gardening journal is to maximize your growing space. So if you have some extra potting soil mix like I did, it's really beneficial to create an extra row and grow more food. So I simply just laid down the remaining potting soil mix and sowed in some spinach seeds. But you also want to create a barrier so people know not to step in that area and pets are less likely to walk in it. So I did this in two areas. In this area right here, I sowed my spinach seeds, and on the other side of the garden, I sowed some remaining Chinese broccoli and some leek seeds. So hopefully with that extra space, I'll have some extra food too, especially in these uncertain times. All right guys, so this is a unique situation right here. So there's a lot of diversity in this bed. I have a couple things left over from the summer, like my eggplants and my red roselle, which is a type of hibiscus flower you can use for a tea or a jam. Really popular, I think, in Australia. But I'm growing chives, dinosaur kale, bok choy, cilantro. There's a broccoli plant. There's a dill plant over there. Everything's pretty small right now, but the idea is to grow a unique diversity of plants to confuse pests. So it's a little experiment. Again, I need to make sure I pick these weeds so they don't compete with everything else that's in here. So I'll give you an update as the weeks go on if this actually makes a difference. You know, at least working so far, I don't see any kind of pest damage in this one particular area. So in this bed right here, I added some new fall vegetables about 2 weeks ago, and they're growing very well. But the main thing I grow in this bed are chili peppers. Unfortunately, the plants I planted this year struggled to survive between pests and just the heat. I had a lot of rats. They attacked mainly my sweet peppers. I had one sweet pepper plant that had 5 nice sweet peppers on it. I was going to give it one more day to ripen up and develop a little more. And the next morning I came out here to harvest them, and there was absolutely no evidence that there was ever any sweet peppers on the plant. The rats just completely devoured the entire plant. They even ate the leaves, which was really disappointing. But that being said, I should get another chili harvest by the end of the year. Here in Houston, you know, obviously it's warmer than the rest of the country, so I get a chili harvest until the end of the year. Actually, the plants I planted in 2019, I did a chili harvest up into January of this year. So it was a pretty mild winter. So hopefully there's another mild winter and I continue to get chili peppers and harvest them with some of my fall vegetables. Alright guys, so that was my garden journal for October 20th, 2020. If you guys like these types of videos, please consider subscribing and liking the video. If you guys like that Greenstock vertical garden tower, I have a video about the best fall vegetables that you can plant in it. So go check out that video next. But again, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.